Yo, what's up, Jits? We're here with the 90 sub special. Yes, I know I'm recording this on a potato. I'm aware of that. So, every mob, including 1.20, no, we're not doing the 1.21 mobs because that doesn't exist yet. It's it's a lot. So, here are the tiers. We got gods, useful, great, mid, could be better, and I hate you. All right, let's go ahead and get started. All right, the Allay. I mean, they're pretty cool to have, but all you can really do with them is just get them items and then they'll just try to find more of that. Like, yeah, they're pretty mid. Axolotls. So they're underwater pets, but the way to get them is just not fun at all. So, write all this down because I'm not repeating this again. So first, you have to actually find a lush cave, which is where these guys spawn in. And then you got to make sure you're below Y level 63. Okay, you confused yet? Good. Just replay the video. And then it has to it has to be a water source next to a freaking stone block. And then it has to be at darkness level 0. And then they can spawn. But that's hard to do because there's glow berries everywhere, which makes for light sources. Like, what? How are you going to require us to have complete darkness, yet there's glow berries making light everywhere? So besides the BS way of getting them, they're pretty cool, but not that useful. Bats. This is literally one of the most useless mobs in the entire game. All they do is just act for decorations for caves, and they don't drop anything, so they go in I hate you. Blazes. So blazes are found in nether fortresses, and they're one of the most useful mobs, if not the most useful. They drop blaze rods, which are required to make blaze powder, which you need to make Eyes of Ender to beat the game. These guys are literally required to beat the game. So for that alone, that's pretty powerful. And the fact that they can just light you on fire at any time makes you got to make sure that you're really watching. But I got to say, blazes are pretty annoying to fight when they're in large groups. Like seriously, you're going to get lit on fire over and over and over again. And if you don't have a fire res potion, then good luck. But anyway, they go at the gods. Camels. This is one of the 1.20 mobs, and they're not that good. You find them in desert villages, and all you can do is just put a saddle on them and then just have them as a pet. So they're pretty cool to have as a pet, but I wish they would actually drop something. Like, they could be better, bro. Cats. So in real life, I have a soft spot for cats. Yeah, no, I might be a little embarrassed admitting this, but anyway, cats are really useful. They can scare creepers away, in which creepers are one of the most dangerous mobs early game. So the fact that these guys can just scare them away from you makes them really useful. And you can also use these guys for creeper farms when you're trying to make fireworks, in which you need fireworks to fly with the elytra. So they're another god. Cave spiders. You find these guys in mine shafts, And yeah, they are so minuscule, but don't let that get to your head. They, as soon as they hit you, they give you the poison effect. So fighting these guys is really scary early game. And also, can we just talk about the Bane of Arthropods enchantment? So the Bane of Arthropods enchantment deals extra damage to only 5 mobs, which is cave spiders, bees, silverfish, and endermites. Why would you ever need Bane of Arthropods when sharpness literally does the same thing to every mob? So these guys are pretty cool to have as ambience mobs. You know, it's pretty scary fighting them early game, but once you get good weapons and armor, they basically just become normal spiders, except with poison. Chickens! So I love these guys because setting up a chicken farm is one of the easiest ones to do. Instead of getting 2 normal mobs, like a cow, for example, you only just need 1 chicken. You gotta wait for it to lay some eggs, and then you throw those eggs to get a chance at getting a baby chicken. And plus, they're a really good food source too. But not as useful as these two, though. Cows. Same thing with the chickens. They just act as a food source and as ambience mobs. And they also drop leather. But to be honest, I don't really use leather that much, so they go up here with the chicken. Creepers. Okay, the fact that creepers are the mascot of Minecraft is already powerful enough. But these guys are extremely useful. Like I said with the cat, I mean, it has it in the name, Creeper Farms. And you got to take the name very seriously. Creeper. They are silent, like literally silent, until once they get close to you, they start hissing and then they explode. So fighting these guys is already pretty dangerous enough early game. But there's a more powerful version of the creeper called the charged creeper. The way you find this is that a creeper has to get struck by lightning. And when a charged creeper explodes, they do twice the damage. Yeah, don't mess with these guys early game. Like get some iron armor or something. Dolphins. So anyway, dolphins, they just act as ambience mobs for ocean biomes. But what's great about them is that if you feed them a piece of fish, they'll lead you to treasure. Like they literally do that. And they give you the dolphin's grace effect, which makes you swim faster underwater. But there's this thing called Death Strider, which makes you swim faster all the time. So I don't really know why you would ever need this guy, but donkeys. Let's be honest, donkeys aren't even that useful. You can keep them as your pet, and if you put a saddle on them, you can also put a chest on them, which makes for portable storage. But we have these guys. So there's literally no reason to ever have a donkey. Drowns. Yes, I know they're called drowned, but saying it is so awkward. So I just say drown. I freaking hate these guys. The amount of times I just wanted to catch some fish while swimming in the ocean and these guys just sneak up on me. Like I can't even tell you how many times they have snuck up on me. And the thing about it, in Java Edition, they don't even spawn that often in the water. But on Bedrock, which I play the most, oh my god, you're gonna find these guys everywhere in the water. And plus, if they have a trident, they become like 3 times more dangerous because that trident does a lot of damage. So you go with the bat, Elder Guardians. Just like the drowned, I hate these guys. So the Elder Guardian are they're found in ocean monuments, and if you get close to them, they give you the mining fatigue effect. And if you don't know, mining fatigue makes you mine slower. Bro, in a game called Minecraft, you're going to mine blocks. So the fact that it can just give you an effect that makes you mine slower is just like even with an efficiency 5 haste 2 pickaxe, you're still gonna mine super slow. And yes, I've tried it. So anyway, they also have the stupid laser beam that comes out of their eye. And their hitbox is freaking huge. Like seriously, it can hit you from like 2 blocks away. So for that, you go and I hate you. But I do say it drops some pretty good stuff, such as wet sponges and the Tide armor trim. But the Tide armor trim drop is super rare, so I know you can barely see, but we have the Endermen. So just like blazes and creepers, these guys are extremely useful. And they're the only mob in the game to spawn in all 3 dimensions, the overworld, the nether, and the end. Like especially in the end. And they act as neutral mobs, meaning if you hit them first or if you stare them in the eyes, then they'll start attacking you. And they do some crazy damage. Like they do like 5 hit points. So you need ender pearls and blaze rods to beat the game. So yeah, they go in gods. And also when the sound effect plays for when you stare at an enderman, it feels like you really screwed up. You know what? I'm gonna play it right here. The Endermite. So these guys are literally just a rip-off silverfish. The way you find these guys is that they have a 5% chance of spawning from an ender pearl. And endermen hate endermites. And they'll just kill anyone that they see. And they're one of the Bane of Arthropods guys. But once again, Sharpness Sword literally kills them in 1 hit. So what's the point? And plus, they don't even drop anything, so they're going here. The Evoker. You find these guys in raids and in woodland mansions. And also, trying to find a woodland mansion is such pain. Like, sometimes it can be like over 10,000 blocks. Even with any elytra, that's pretty far. And these guys drop one of the most useful items in the entire game. The Totem of Undying. But seriously, this item is overpowered. Like, you literally cheat death with it. So, that's great that it could just give you one of the most broken items in the game. And also, is it just me or does the evoker sounds like it's coughing when they die? Like, listen to this. Like, that's not just me, right? So because of the fact that they drop one of the most broken items, they get to go in the gods. And next up, we got this thing. Okay, so this thing isn't actually a mob. The evoker spawns it when it's trying to attack you. I think it's called a jaw. Okay, so the evoker spawns two things to attack you. This and the Vex. And they will spawn these guys more often. And also, this thing is extremely avoidable. Like, you can literally just cosplay as Mario and just jump over it. It's that easy to avoid. But this thing doesn't actually count as a mob, so I guess we'll just put it here. Foxes. So these guys spawn in taiga biomes. And there's a snowy variant for snow taiga biomes. And foxes are the wolves' number one op. Like, they hate foxes. And they'll just kill anyone that they see nearby. And these guys like to eat chickens and rabbits. And they can also eat food like you do. So that's a pretty good detail. And oh my god, it is so annoying trying to breed these guys, bro. They breed with sweet berries, but they literally run away as fast as possible as soon as you get close to them. So that's pretty annoying. So foxes aren't that useful, but I'm happy they're in the game. Frogs. Same thing with the foxes. And there's 3 types of frogs in the game. The one that's on the screen right now is the temperate frog, which you find in swamp biomes. The warm frog is the white frog, and you find it in warm biomes, such as the mangrove swamp. And then finally, the cold frog, which is the green one, which is the hardest one to get. And they spawn in cold biomes. Well, actually, they don't. See, the way to get the cold frog is kind of a long process. So first, what you have to do is you got to set up a water source and then find 2 frogs and then bring them over to a cold biome. Breed them with slime balls so that one of the frogs makes frog spawn. After a few minutes, tadpoles will burst out of the frog spawn. And then you gotta wait for the tadpoles to grow up. And then finally, you have the cold frog. What? Why do we have to go through such a long process just to get a frog? But anyway, I'm happy they're in the game, but they're not that useful. The Ghast. Oh my freaking god. This motherfricker might be the most annoying enemy I have ever fought in any game ever. They attack you by shooting fireballs at you, and you can actually knock the fireballs back at them. But that's so hard to do when they're moving around the place. And plus, they make the most wretched sounds ever. Like, one of their damage sounds is literally them screaming. What? And plus, these guys are very destructive. So have fun trying to build your base in the nether, where everything is super fragile to gas fireballs. So yeah, that netherrack house that you built in the nether, you can say bye-bye to that if a gas blows it up. And they can also break your portal. Why would they make this guy so annoying? I'm sorry, guys, but I just don't like how they made this guy function. Matter of fact, these guys are so freaking annoying that they're below the I hate you tier list. Oh my god. The glow squid. Do I even have to say anything about this guy? This guy is one of the most useless mobs in the entire game. The only reason it got into the game because Dream decided to rig the mob vote. Thanks, Dream. And plus, there's no point for this guy anyway. It drops glow ink sacs, and all you do with it is make glow item frames. But they could have just made glowstone dust do the same thing. Like, it's right there. So, you go with the Ghast, the goat. These guys are found in mountain biomes, such as the jagged peaks, frozen peaks, snowy slopes. Yeah, like those kind of biomes. And they're neutral mobs. Like, they'll only attack you if a mob or you is just standing in one spot for too long. Like, if you stayed in one spot for too long, they'll literally just ram their head into you. And just like cows and sheep, these guys like to breed with wheat. And you can also get milk from them, just like cows. So I'm happy they're in the game, but they're not that useful. All you can really get from them is goat horns. But the process to get them is just no. Guardians. No, not this guy. This guy. So unlike the Elder Guardian, these guys aren't so aggravating, dude. Well, I mean, they still have the laser beam and the spikes that hit you from too far away, but at least they don't give you mining fatigue. And also, plus, if you have a sharpness 5 sword, you can literally just kill them in like 2 hits. So that's great. And they also drop prismarine shards. So you can use these guys as a way for farming prismarine stuff or something. If you're like building. So I'll just put them here. Hoglins. They're found in Crimson Forest biomes. And yeah, it's pretty much the only food source in the Nether. So the only thing I can say that's bad about this guy is that this guy has such a huge hitbox. Not as big as this guy, but sometimes it actually feels unfair when they hit you. And also, piglins and hoglins just don't like each other. Like, the piglins will just attack the hoglins. I don't know, maybe they're just hungry. Wait a minute. That's cannibalism. I'm looking at you, you cannibalist. Horses. Yeah, these guys are literally ruined because of the elytra. Why would you ever want to travel with a horse? The husk. So the husk is the desert version of the zombie. So in desert biomes, 80% of zombies will be the husk. And then the other 20% is just normal zombies. And these guys have the super unique feature of giving you the hunger effect when you get hit by them. Yeah, I know. Best effect in the game. Like, the husk just basically slaps your character in the face, and your character is like, oh my god, he slapped me. I'm so hungry right now. Like, what? But I love the fact that they went for a biome exclusive mob. And also, by the way, the other day, I saw that Minecraft is adding the bogged into the game. If you don't know what the bogged is, it's basically the swamp version of a skeleton. It's gonna shoot poison arrows. I can't wait to see this guy in the game. Bro, we're getting 3 mobs plus a new structure? The Iron Golem. These guys are found in villages, and you can also make one yourself. So these guys act as ways for getting iron early game, but if you're not overly cruel like me, then you actually keep these guys in the village, and they just protect the villagers because the villagers are pacifists. So say an iron golem sees a zombie, it will basically just launch the zombie into the air. And if you hit the iron golem, it will literally do the same thing to you. It will not hold back. Such giga chads. Llamas. What the heck are even the point of these guys? Like, you can ride them like a horse and a donkey, but you literally cannot control them. Bro, how can you ride something but not control it? Like, what? And these guys drop leather just like horses. And also, they spit at you if you hit them. Yeah. Magma cubes. These guys are found in basalt biomes. And they're arguably one of the most dangerous mobs in the nether. Like, it's basically a slime, but it's magma. They jump even further and higher. And the small magma cubes can also deal damage, unlike the small slimes. And they drop magma cream, which you use to make this thing. You know, the thing that makes you not get lit on fire from the blazes? So I love these guys. Mushrooms. No, that is not that. I'm not saying this wrong. This is literally its name. Mushroom. It's a cow, but it's covered in mushrooms. You find these guys on Mushroom Island biomes, which are extremely rare. So if you manage to find one of these, take a picture of it. And they basically do everything else like a cow. Except if you use a bowl, you get mushroom stew. But if you use a bucket, you get milk. Which one is it, Mojang? Do you want the mushroom to give us mushroom stew or milk? Like, what? Mules. I've literally never used these guys or even tried to get one during my entire lifetime of playing Minecraft. Like, I've been playing Minecraft for like a year now, and I've never wanted to get these. The only reason I know these guys exist is because of creative mode. So you get these guys by breeding horses and donkeys. But I've never even tried to get one, so ocelots. So these guys are found in jungle biomes, which are extremely rare. Like, seriously, they're over like 3,000 blocks away. But anyway, they're found in jungle biomes. They don't drop anything for some reason. And back in old Minecraft, these guys used to be the way you used to get cats. But ever since 1.14, ocelots and cats are now 2 different mobs, and they make cats easier to get. You find them by just finding them in villages. So yeah, the ocelot is basically useless now. Like, all you can just do with it is just breed them. So, pandas. These guys are so cute. And yes, I'm really saying the word cute. And there's many different variants of the panda. Also, try to find the brown panda. But they don't do much. So, parrots. These guys are so unbearingly aggravating. Like, just take one as a pet and then just keep it at your base. And trust me, it's going to make a lot of creeper sounds, thinking that your house is actually going to blow up. Do I even have to say anything about the Phantom? Like, it's literally, like, most people literally. 24 hours to go from the worst rank in Fortnite all the way. It's literally the worst mob in the game. So you think you know Wix? At least really? According to other people. But first up, we've got shake video masks. Like, oh my god, these guys are so annoying. The way these guys spawn is already ridiculous enough. You have to not sleep for 3 nights in Minecraft. What? And then they'll just attack you out of nowhere. And also, they drop phantom membranes, which you use to repair your elytra. But there's this thing called mending, which makes your elytra last forever. So just sleep in a bed, guys. Like, literally the whole point of the Phantom is to not fight it. Why would you create a mob that you're not supposed to fight? We're getting into that later. But anyway, for most people, this is literally the worst mob in the game. So, Phantom, you can just screw yourself. Piggies!
God, no, God. Please, God.
They act as a food source. And oh my god, these guys are so funny. Like, they'll just stare you down if you're looking at them. And they breed with potatoes, carrots, or beetroot. And it's not that hard to set up a carrot or potato farm. But what about beetroot? Yeah, beetroot is literally the worst food source in the game. So don't make a beetroot farm. Don't listen to those villagers. And also, I'm only putting the pig in God tier because my brother loves Minecraft pigs. Man, speaking of pigs, we have the piglin.
Man, shut your.
These guys are literally the mascot of the Nether. And I freaking love these guys. The fact that you can trade gold ingots with them is just really great. But most of the time, they'll just give you trash, such as string, blackstone, and glass bottles. Like, what? But you can also get some pretty good stuff, such as ender pearls, which is why many speedrunners use these guys as a way of getting ender pearls instead of killing endermen. So I love these guys. Unlike their older brother here, the piglin brute. You might be asking yourself, what's the difference between a piglin and a piglin brute? Well, the piglin has a gold sword, and the piglin brute has an eye patch and a golden axe. Yeah, that's literally it. So you find piglin brutes in bastions, which are already pretty rare enough. And oh my god, these guys hit extremely hard. Like, even with full protection for netherite armor, you're gonna lose at least like 2 hit points for every hit. Like, they are extremely deadly. Also, did I mention that the piglins will be chill with you as long as you're wearing gold armor? Well, that's not the case for the piglin brutes. They'll attack you even if you don't anger the other piglins and if you are wearing golden armor or not. Like, what? All right, next up we have the pillager. So the pillagers work with the evokers during raids, and you also find these guys in pillager outposts. Matter of fact, pillagers are the only reason to ever start a raid. So what you have to do is find a pillager outpost, and then you kill the captain, which is the one with the banner on his head, and then you get the bad omen effect. And as soon as you step into a village with the bad omen effect, a raid will start. And there will be ravagers, pillagers, evokers, witches, and vexes. So yeah, these guys are literally the cause for starting raids. And they are extremely deadly early game. Seriously, you're gonna want netherite armor before you fight these guys. Because they have insanely good aim. And also, can we talk about the Illager's Hars? Like, I'm probably not even saying it right, but you know, I'm just gonna play it right now. All right, the polar bear. You find these guys in ice biomes, and they act as neutral mobs. They'll only attack you if you hit them first or if you're too close to their cub. And they are extremely deadly. Like, they'll do like 5 hit points. So, yeah, they're pretty mid. Rabbits. These guys act as food sources, and you breed them with carrots, gold carrots, or dandelions. I don't know why dandelions, but okay. But oh my god, trying to breed these guys is like trying to freaking eat a hot dog with boxing gloves on, dude. It is so annoying to breed them. Like, you'll see what I mean. Set up a rabbit farm. Just go to your Minecraft world and just start up a rabbit farm. Next up we have the Ravager. So these guys also participate in raids. And they're basically the iron golem of the Illagers. And yes, that's literally the group's name. Illagers. Bro, that's the best Mojang could think of. Illagers? But anyway, they only dropped their saddle. So yeah. Turtles. You can get the turtle helmet from these guys, but trying to get that is just.
If you didn't know, now you're gonna know. It's that simple. But there's a pickaxe in Fortnite that gives you 0 delay. It honestly feels like so smooth. And there's actually a lot of people trying to get this pickaxe right now because it's rare. It's only came back like 2 or 3 times, and it's around Christmas time. So it might come back this year. I don't
Guys,
know.
don't mind that.
Fortnite's trying to get like rid of it basically because there's
All
a
right,
couple
sheep.
content creators like bigger ones that have the bundles.
Definitely one of the most
tried to
useful
use it in their
passive
bundles, and
mobs.
Fortnite said no. So
They
didn't
give you
want it.
wool, which is extremely good. Because, I mean, you kind of need a bed to survive in this game. Especially if you don't want to fight trash here.
It's so satisfying. It's definitely one of the most
So,
satisfying pickaxes.
that's great.
Some people don't like loud pickaxes, but
Shulkers.
I mean, dude, that's
Bro,
so
I
sick.
freaking
It's
love
supposed
these
to come back
guys.
July 21st
So
in
the
3
so the way
days, 2 days,
they
something
attack
like
you
that.
is that
But
they
as of right
fire
now, Fortnite
bullets
said nah.
that
So
give
I
you
guess we'll have to
the
just wait and see.
levitation
Okay,
effect,
so I think this is the
which makes
first
you levitate
screenshot
for a
that
few
they found of it.
seconds.
It's season 7. So I mean, it
Oh,
wasn't
and
like
by
it
the way,
wasn't
these
that
guys are
great.
found
I
in
guess
end
no one just
cities.
expected it to
And
for
oh
people
my
to want
god,
a loud
finding an
pickaxe. It's
end
supposed to be
city is
quiet or
so
certain parts because
annoying.
you can hear it if you're
These
coming up to
things
something.
are
Like that thing
so
is loud. If you're
rare.
in like a cave or
And
something,
the end
you
ship,
can
which
hear it.
has the elytra, which you need to fly, well, end ships
Yeah,
only
listen
have
to
a
it.
25% chance of spawning in end cities. Why? And these guys give you shulker shells, which you kind of need to make shulker boxes.
No! Let me manifest.
So the fact that they give you useful items and they're found in one of the best structures in the game, you get to go here. Oh wait, why did I put the pillager here? You go there. The skeleton. So you guys know my hatred for skeletons if you've been on this channel long enough. But I've actually had a change of mind. They're only annoying early game where you don't have any armor or good tools. Like really, once you have netherite armor, they basically just become zombies. But they're still pretty annoying early game. And they give you bones. So I guess they're not the worst. Skeleton horses. The way these guys spawn is that they spawn very rarely during thunderstorms. If you go near one, 4 skeleton horsemen will spawn. And skeleton horsemen are one of the rarest mob combinations in the game. It's basically skeletons on top of skeleton horses, and they wear iron helmets. And those iron helmets are enchanted. So try to find the skeleton horsemen. And also, you don't need a saddle to ride these guys. And they also drop bones. Slimes. I'm pretty sure every Minecraft YouTuber known to man is going to get mad at me for this. But I don't think the slime is that useful. Yeah, throw rocks at me. So I just don't use redstone contraptions like at all. So I guess the slime will just go here. Oh, and slimes drop slime balls, which you need to breed these guys. Sniffers. This is literally one of the most useless mobs I've ever seen. So the way you get these guys is that you have to find a warm ocean ruins. Yeah, warm, which means you have to find an ocean with coral with it. Then you got to find an ocean ruins, and you got to have a brush to brush the suspicious sand to get a sniffer egg. And getting the sniffer egg is already rare enough. And then if you finally do manage to get a sniffer egg, you got to get another one so that there'll be 2 to breed. So anyway, you take those sniffer eggs, and then you got to find some moss blocks because for some reason sniffer eggs hatch faster on moss blocks. And then you finally return home to your base. You put the sniffer eggs onto the moss blocks, and then you wait for them to hatch. They turn into babies, and then you wait for them to grow up, and then finally you have the adult sniffers. You got all that? And also, I am aware that my voice cracked in the middle of saying all that. So, yeah, there's that. But even after you go through all the pain of getting 2 sniffers to infinitely breed, they're not useful at all. All they do is just sniff the ground, and they'll either give you pitcher pods or torch flower seeds. And torch flowers don't even give you real light, even though it has the torch in the name. Like, that's false advertising. And plus, those 2 flowers aren't even that good looking. So yeah, don't go through the effort to find a sniffer like I did. Seriously, it's so painful. The snow golem. So these guys don't actually spawn naturally. You have to create one by putting 2 snow blocks in a jack-o'-lantern. Wait, not a jack-o'-lantern. I'm so stupid. Carved pumpkin. And then you have the snow golem. And just like the iron golem, these guys will defend you against mobs by throwing snowballs. But snowballs don't even do damage, so they're gonna die. And plus, they have super low HP. compared to the iron golem. Because I mean, one is made of snow and one is made of iron. Which one do you think is going to be more stronger? Spiders. But before I saw cave spiders in the game, I thought these guys were small. uh, but unlike their younger brother, these guys don't give you the poison effect. Instead, it'll just do normal damage. And also, they drop string and spider eyes. And you can use spider eyes to make fermented spider eyes to corrupt potions, to like reverse the effects. So, say you have a swiftness potion. If you put a fermented spider eye in that, it'll turn into a slowness potion. And then healing becomes harming. Regeneration becomes wither. Strength becomes weakness. And also, if you use a normal spider eye, it'll just become a poison potion. So, there's that. So they're definitely one of the most useful basic nighttime mobs. The squid. I don't think I've ever used a squid. So these guys are found in oceans and lakes, and if you kill them, you get ink sacs, which you use for getting black dye. So squids make for the easiest way to get black dye. But they're pretty mid. The stray. So remember the skeleton? Yeah, the stray is basically the skeleton 2.0. Instead of firing normal arrows, it shoots slowness arrows. And my God, those slowness arrows last for so long. Like, it feels like forever. But that also makes them extremely annoying to fight. Like, they're just gonna keep sending you farther and farther back, and you can't run because you have the slowness effect. So, yeah, they're pretty annoying. Tadpoles. These guys don't even drop anything, and plus they're just baby frogs, so yeah. The wandering trader llama. Basically the llama, but I don't get what's the difference. So this guy is gonna count for all fish types. So salmon, cod, tropical fish, and puffer fish. Cod and salmon are really good food sources. Tropical fish are not good food sources at all. And then puffer fish, it speaks for itself. So the Vex. So these guys are summoned by the evoker in order to attack you. And they have iron swords too. So they're really deadly. And oh my God, these guys are so annoying. Like, what did you expect? Their name is literally Vex. And Vex means annoying. Like, come on. Even Mojang knows how annoying these guys are. Like, how sad is that? And what makes them annoying is that they have the tiniest hitbox known to man. I'm being so serious right now. These guys have the most minuscule hitbox of all time, which makes them extremely annoying to fight. So for that, you go here, Vex. Villagers. So villagers are actually my favorite mob in the game. Because I mean, you literally trade with them. And there's many different types of villagers too, such as the farmer, the librarian, the stonemason, the armorer. We're just gonna go over some basic villagers. So the nitwit villager, yeah, it speaks for itself. They can't get a job. Like literally, they just can't get a job. And plus, they stay up later than most villagers and wake up later than most villagers. Then we have the farmer, which can in which you can give them crops for emeralds, and the amount of food the farmer will trade is just insane. They can give you bread, pumpkin pie, apples, cookies, suspicious stew, cake, and golden carrots. And gold carrots are the best food source in the game. And then we have the armor. They'll trade like diamond armor and stuff. So those are some basic villagers. And also, I freaking love the sounds the villagers make. They're always like, huh. like, it's so freaking good. And also, the illagers make the same exact sound too, except they have like a more aggressive appeal to it. Next up, we have the Vindicator. I consider this guy the deadliest out of the illagers. They may they may look like they're easy to kill, but they're really not. They have an iron axe and they hit you hard. Like in Java Edition, these guys can literally hit you down to half a heart with just one hit. And that's with a full health bar. Like half a heart in one hit? Are you insane? And these guys don't actually make the har sounds like the evoker and the pillagers. Instead, they'll just go like, mm-hmm. So these guys are extremely deadly. And they also drop the most emeralds out of all the illagers. So that's pretty cool if you want to trade with villagers. Oh, and by the way, speaking of emeralds, if you kill a raid, you get the hero of the village effect, which cuts all the all the emerald prices in half. Like, and plus, if you cure a zombie villager and it turns into a normal villager, it's already cut in half. So combine curing a zombie villager plus the hero of the village effect, you can get trades for as cheap as one stick for an emerald. It gets that cheap. Next up, we have the Wandering Trader. Yeah, I freaking hate these guys. Like half the time, no, what am I saying? Most of the time, these guys don't even trade useful items. I guess the only useful things they have are saplings, but come on. You can literally just find those yourself. Like literally most of the items he sells, you can just find very easily yourself. But I remember one time the Wandering Trader spawned at my base, and then he wanted me to give him an emerald for one sugar cane, even though I had a sugar cane farm. Like, what? And plus, if you hit them, the Wandering Trader llamas will literally start spitting at you. And plus, he turns invisible at night. I'm not even joking. He has infinite invisibility potions. Next up, we have the Warden. You find these guys in ancient cities, and they are the deadliest mob in the entire game. Seriously. This guy can kill you with one hit, even in protection for netherite armor. Like, he's that deadly. And if he doesn't do a melee attack, he he would like shoot out a beam from his heart, and it's and that beam is apparently called a sonic boom. And this guy is blind, just like me. So he'll only start attacking you if he hears you. And you basically get 3 warnings. If he hears you the first time, he starts getting curious. The second time, he's getting aggravated. And then the third time, he's just had enough. He's going to kill you. Like, this guy is so powerful that he can literally kill the Wither. Bro, you need to chill out. And also, the way these guys spawn is that they spawn from Skulk Shriekers. So the way to spawn them is that a Skulk sensor has to start vibrating and send a signal to a Skulk Shrieker 4 times. So you get 3 warnings. But after the 4th warning, infinite wardens can spawn. Well, actually, there can only just be 1 warden at a time. So this means you have to be as quiet as possible inside of ancient cities. This is why ancient cities are literally the deadliest structure. Outs like ancient cities are the most dangerous structure. Second place is the bastions. You go up here, Warden. The witch. So these guys also participate in raids. And they're one of the only female mobs. And you can also find these guys outside of raids. They are the rarest nighttime mob, and you can find them in witch huts and swamps. And by the way, inside of witch huts, there will be a witch, a black cat, and a cauldron. Like, really, I only come to witch huts just to get the black cat and not for the cauldron. Like, and the way they attack you is that they throw potions at you. They can throw a weakness potion, a slowness potion, a harming potion, and a poison potion. So that's great. Oh, and did I mention that they can also heal themselves? Yeah, yeah, they can also drink potions of their own, and they have an infinite amount of them, by the way. So if they're too far away from you, they'll drink a swiftness potion. If they're in the water, they'll drink a water breathing potion. When illagers are hurt, the witch will throw regeneration potions at them. If witches are lit on fire, they drink a fire resistance potion. And if witches have been hurt, they drink a healing potion, which means you gotta act fast when they're trying to heal. And no, these guys are not villagers. And it's been confirmed by Mojang that witches aren't villagers or illagers. Like, they're just on their own, but they still participate in raids, so they're basically illagers. And these guys drop some pretty good items. You can get stuff like redstone, sugar, gunpowder. and glowstone. So you can use witches as a way of farming glowstone. Next up, we have the wither. So there's two different withers. Let's talk about the Java wither. So I've actually never fought the wither in Java before, but from what I've heard from Java players, it's a little bit too easy to kill if you trap it. But now, let's talk about the scary part. No pun intended. The bedrock wither. Oh my freaking god. The bedrock wither is so insanely OP. It can just destroy any block it likes. That includes obsidian. And plus, it has 600 HP. And they can spawn 3 wither skeletons. Like, bro, chill out, wither. So I'm just gonna tell you guys right now. Do not try to fight the bedrock wither. Like, seriously, it will kill you. Like, pack some god apples when you're fighting the bedrock wither. And bro, the fight when I fight the bedrock wither, it can get it can get so OP to the point where my game starts lagging. Like, it can destroy that many blocks. Next up, we have the final boss of the game, the Ender Dragon. So these so this guy is actually female, and she's the queen of the Endermen. I don't I don't know why she's a dragon and the rest are just Endermen, but okay. So the Ender Dragon it fits as a final boss. And then after you defeat the Ender Dragon, you get access to the outer end. You know, where you find chorus trees and end cities and more chorus trees and more chorus trees and more chorus trees. Like, seriously, end cities are that rare. Like, I'm pretty sure like 90% of the outer end is just chorus trees. Like, seriously, go find an end city on your Minecraft world. Go find one right now. You'll see what I mean. And also, you can fight the Ender Dragon twice. And only twice. So after the second time, the Ender Dragon's just gone for good. The only thing that's bad about the Ender Dragon is that it spams those freaking fireballs way too much. Like, seriously. In 1 second, it'll just shoot a fireball, and then like 5 seconds later, it'll shoot another one. And if you don't know, the fireballs, well, it basically just explodes on impact, and then it releases dragon's breath, which is extremely deadly. And when you kill the Ender Dragon, you get so much XP from that. All right, let's move on. Wither skeletons. So this guy is Skeleton 3.0. They spawn in nether fortresses and they blend in well. Like, oh my god. They drop stone swords, coal, bones, and wither skeleton skulls, which you kind of need to spawn the wither. And as soon as they hit you, they give you the wither effect. And the wither effect is the poison effect, except you actually die from it. Like, I freaking love these guys. But just like Blazes, they get pretty annoying to fight when they're in large groups. And for some reason, when they're going upstairs, they run faster. I don't know why, but they just do that. Wolves or dogs. I love these guys because I'm a dog person myself. So the fact that we have dogs in a virtual game, like, oh my god. Like, they'll help you attack mobs, such as skeletons. Because, I mean, dogs like bones. Like, when you're hurt, the dog is just like, oh nah, I'm coming to save you. I'm coming to save you, owner. But they also die too easily. So thank God we're getting wolf armor in the game. I'm surprised wolf armor wasn't a thing before. Oh, and by the way, if you have a cat and you're attacked by a mob, the cat will just do nothing. So thanks a lot. But the wolf or the dog, like they just die too easily, man. Like the amount of times I just wanted to take a dog to my base and they die on the way there, like I cannot tell you how many times that has happened to me. And plus, when your Minecraft pet dies, it actually feels like you lost something, dude. Like I almost burst out into tears when my Minecraft pet dies. So, and yes, I'm putting it in God tier because I love dogs. Yeah, I'm biased. Zoglins. So these guys don't actually spawn in the Nether. The way to get these guys is that you have to take a hoglin to the overworld by using a Nether portal. But hoglins are scared of Nether portals, so you gotta make sure to light a Nether portal as soon as it gets into those obsidian blocks. And then when you go into the overworld, you'll find a Zoglin. So it's an Easter egg mob. And also, I love that Zoglins and the Warden are hostile to every mob, except other Zoglins and other Wardens. Like, I really want to see a Warden versus a Warden. Alright, zombies. The base. Zombies are one of the first things that comes to mind when I think of Minecraft mob. Like, like, I, I just love the amount of things you can do with these guys. But it is way too many things, so I'm just gonna put them up here. The zombie horse. Okay, so you can't actually get this guy at all. The only way to get the zombie horse is by using creative mode. So they're not even in the game. So zombie pigmen. I've only been playing Minecraft since 2022, so I've never experienced zombie pigmen. And plus, the zombie pigmen have been changed to the zombie piglin. We'll get to the zombie villager. So these guys either spawn naturally or you find them in igloos. Well, if the igloo actually has a basement, and you can get them by a zombie killing a villager. And you can actually cure them back into a normal villager, like I said earlier, which cuts the prices in half. So they go up there. And finally, we have the zombie piglin. These guys are one of the scariest mobs because as soon as you attack a zombie piglin, every zombie piglin nearby is going to attack you as well. And they hit hard and they're fast. And also these guys are the main sources of freaking gold farms. So they go up there. And we have officially ranked every mob in Minecraft. So in the gods, we have the Blaze, cats, creepers, endermen, evokers, iron golems, pigs, piglins, shulkers, villagers, the warden, wolves, zombie villagers, and zombie piglins. In the useful tier, we have chickens, cows, hoglins, magma cubes, mushrooms, sheep, spiders, vindicators, witches, and zombies. In great, we have axolotls, cave spiders, dolphins, freaking guardians, the husk, pillagers, skeletons, the ender dragon, and the wither skeleton. In the mid, we have allays, foxes, frogs, goats, pandas, polar bears, ravagers, skeleton horses, slimes, and squids. And the could be better because I mean these mobs could use some better things. Like, all right, so anyway, in this tier we have the camel, donkeys, endermites, horses, llamas, mules, ocelots, parrots, piglin brutes, rabbits, turtles, sniffers, snow golems, wandering trader llamas, salmon, cod, tropical fish, and pufferfish, the wither, specifically the bedrock one, and zoglins. And finally, in the I hate you tier, well, I mean, some of these I don't even hate. I you literally just can't get them at all. They're just not mobs. And one of them literally doesn't even exist anymore. So in this tier, we have the bat, drowns, elder guardians, jaws, gas, glow squids, phantoms, strays, tadpoles, vexes, wandering traders, zombie horses, and zombie pigmen. So we got this massive thing done, dude. Do you guys hate me for putting the wandering trader in I hate you? And do you also hate me for putting slimes in the mid tier? So that's the 90 subscriber special for you. Thank you guys so much for getting me to 90 subs. At 100 subs, I'm going to be doing, if you do these things, you're a menace. And I'm going to tell you one of them right now. If you pour the milk before the cereal, you're just a professional dunce. So anyway, bye. And no, I'm not going to be editing this. This is all raw footage.